years ago,
That's funny.
like literally a decade ago.
You're going to axe to the tree.
Dude, we were doing a lot of stuff. It's sick.
All right.
Matthew and I,
We haven't, hold up. Shh. We haven't been able to go live in a long time because the internets have all been just
Crap.
poopy. But we are, so I need like one person to text Ashton and tell her that we're actually live
You know
today.
what would be
Chloe's
freaky
gonna do it.
for her? If I got on there and answered, I was like, all right, so today we're starting class, and she'd like, whoa.
We should do that. We should put a sub right
She'd probably
here.
turn it off.
Yeah. Like,
She'd like to double teacher.
All right. so we're gonna,
you need to put something scary in front of the camera. That way, when she does get on there, it scares her.
scares her. Okay.
No, don't worry.
Yes, I searched that up, and as soon as I saw the image, I like literally threw my phone because I didn't know what it was. And scared me.
Okay, is everybody on page 419? Okay. So today we're gonna look at systems of linear functions and quadratic functions and systems of quadratic and quadratic functions, okay? We've done systems of equations, but we did systems of linear equations. So now we're starting, oh, sorry, I'm freezing to death. Now we're starting on quadratic and linear equations and quadratic equations. So if you'll remember, the graphical representation for a solution to a system of equations is where they cross, okay? The point that works for both of them, where those two lines meet, that's your solution, okay? So the graphical interpretation of solving any system of equations is to find the intersection of the graphs. And then, so we're going to look at a linear function and a quadratic. What's the problem with trying to solve everything by graphing?
When you have a decimal,
Okay.
You can't graph.
Sometimes you don't have a graph.
it's not always accurate.
It's not accurate. Graphing is as neat. Graphing is as accurate as you are neat. And some of you are not neat. So that's the problem with solving by graphing. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and solve this one by graphing just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. All right, so graph your line. What's your y-intercept on f of x?
-4.
And then what's your slope?
1.
I missed all those points, and I even used a straight edge. All right, so for g of x, if I want to graph that, I'm going to need to find my axis of symmetry. And then once you find your axis of symmetry, then what do you have to do? What? Well, I haven't found the first point yet. What's the first point I have to find?
The vertex.
Vertex. What? How do I find the vertex?
Plug in your x value first.
Okay.
Wait, I thought it was where the axis of symmetry met that line.
No, that's not the graph of the parabola. That's just us trying to graph the parabola. A is a -1, so I go right 1, down 1, right 2, down 4, and right 3, down 9. And that's when I mirror the points. So this one's pretty easy. This one's designed to be pretty easy to pick out. Where do these two graphs meet?
-1, -5,
Okay, what's
and
yeah.
0.
-1, -5, and 4, 0. Those are my two solutions to this particular system of equations. Will every line quadratic combination have two solutions?
Probably.
Why not?
Because, oh wait. Yes, it'll either have two or none.
Two or none?
Yeah.
So,
Because both of them go on infinitely, so eventually they're,
so we
it's
just
gonna
saw
be
two. What would be none?
if it was above it or below it,
So like this,
yeah, like that.
or something like that.
Yeah, if the line split it, like if the line was going straight up and down, I guess it could have one intercept, but
What about like that?
ugh,
I could have one, right?
yeah.
Okay. So we could have 1, 2, or none. Can we have more than two?
No,
Why not?
because it wouldn't be linear if it was, it'd have to,
What would have to happen in order for this line to touch that again?
It'd have to be
Have to
nonlinear.
curve.
Yeah, something's got to curve, and this is done curving, and this is not going to curve. So 2 is the most. So you can have 0, like we just saw. Hold up. Why are you acting like this? You can have 0. You can have 1. This is, by the way, this is called tangent. When it just touches it in one place, that's called a tangent. Or you can have 2, which is what we just saw. Okay, now we're going to look at this algebraically. Okay, we're going to set the two equations equal to each other. And we're going to find the points of intersection. So -x² plus 4x equals x minus 4. What do I need to do to solve this? How do you solve a quadratic? Because that's set it equal to 0. So minus x plus 4 -x² plus 3x plus 4 equals 0.
yup.
All right, now what?
Factor.
Yes. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to factor out that negative, because if we're factoring and we have a lead coefficient that's negative, you want to get rid of it. Now, you can't just pretend like that was never there, but for factoring purposes, you can ignore it for now. So factor that. I'll wait. I have time. I don't have anything planned for a little bit. I do have a meeting, but it's fourth period, so, you know, it's cool. I'll wait with you guys for now.
You sure you can go ahead if you want to?
No, a dude's not here.
Oh my.
All right, what did this factor to?
X minus 4.
Yep. So that means x minus 4 equals 0, so x is 4. X plus 1 equals 0, so x is -1. Do those two x's look familiar to you?
Yes.
Yeah, they look like from up here, right? From that -1 and that +4. Whew. I just almost fell out of my chair. It wouldn't be the first time, but I still want to do it. Okay, so -1 and +4. So then what we're going to do now, I'm just going to get out of the chair. What we're going to do now is, because we're doing this algebraically, so we're going to take these two x's and you're going to put it in one of these two problems to find the y's. Because remember, Like f of x and g of x is the same thing as y. That's your function. Y is your function. So you can pick whichever one you want. Which one do you think you'd like to use, F or G? Yeah, definitely F. Go with the easy one. Do yourself a favor, okay? You would get the same answer if you use G, except some of you would fight with that negative squared and you do the math wrong and you get the wrong answer. But if you could do it right, you get the same answer. But do yourself a favor and pick the easy one. So go with F. So that means we're going to have y will equal, it's x minus 4. So that's 4 minus 4, which is 0. So that's the point 4, 0. Gee, that looks familiar. Y equals x minus 4. So that's negative 1 minus 4, which is negative 5. So that's the point negative 1, negative 5. Yeah, see, we got the same thing. We got it here from the graph.
So that's how you solve it.
That's how you solve it without a graph. Yes. So let's talk about what we did. The first thing we did is we set them equal to each other.
This was on the test, wasn't it? There was something where you had to.
We solved the quadratic after that. And then we use those values to find the y's.
That's not so bad.
No. Got like 3 people still writing, so I'm waiting on them. Some people actually follow the sign. All right. So this one, we're going to do this one. Before you can do anything with this one, though, you got to multiply that out. I will say this. Overall, like out of all the classes, not just this class, some people really messed up on changing this to standard form. First of all, you didn't even have to change it to standard form. You could have answered the question with it in vertex form. But some people, I don't know why, you like doing extra work. I can give you extra work. I don't care if that's what you like. And so some people multiplied this out, except you messed up. Like you didn't do it right. And then some people multiplied this out and forgot that there was a number after it to add that or subtract that in. But whatever it was that you did, if you multiplied that out, you didn't have to do that. You could have left it in vertex form and used it from there. So anyway, it was not good. Okay, multiply that out and do it right this time.
All right.
Because doing stuff wrong is, I don't know if y'all know this, but doing stuff wrong is bad for your grade. So my advice to you is to do it right. And then you get a better grade. I mean, it's that easy. Gosh. That backpack is perfectly hiding Gage right now. Oh, there he is. Oh, no, there he went. Oh, there he is. Looks like a Jack in the Box. And then he pops up. All right, so what did this multiply out to be completely simplified?
X squared plus 8x plus 13.
Yup.
Oh, okay. I skipped and did all this at once, so. And then it equals 2x plus 4, right? And then what do you need to do?
Minus
Get it
2x
equal to
minus
0.
1.
Okay, go ahead and do that, and then I'll jump in.
Miss Harper,
Hmm.
I remember you made this video one time, and it was like of these action figures, I'm like, you were doing some kind of drama
Church.
scene.
Oh, that was for church, the
Oh,
Friends
yeah,
video,
okay.
Yeah,
Oh my
with
gosh,
like-
I remember that.
like Dorothy and Cinderella.
Yeah, it's fun.
Those were Katie Beth's.
What was
dolls.
that for?
It was for church because they were doing something on.
Yeah, but it was like was it D now?
No, it was some
Oh, it
Wednesday
was-
night
it
thing
was
Brian
the
asked me to
Wednesday
do.
night.
Oh. I vaguely remember that.
Mom showed me that. I was like, what?
It was. I mean, it was stupid, but it was supposed to be. It was like good stupid.
I forgot what it's about.
Who was it? Was it Dorothy or was it Cinderella? Who was the bad guy? Dorothy. Okay, yeah. Dorothy was. She hated everyone. Yeah, but they were her besties. Her ride or die. All right, finish this. If you got that, finish it. If you didn't get that, fix it and then finish it.
I was like, is this really my 10th grade out teacher?
Or like, didn't the phone fall over one time during
Yeah.
the thing? Like the phone falls or one of the dolls fell or something?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
earthquake or something.
Did you say finish it?
Finish it. If you got this, if you didn't get this, fix it, then finish it. So I said both. Yeah, you're both right.
Boom.
Can you live with that? Can you live with both of you being right? Or do you have to exist on an argument?
Oh, okay.
All right, work. Shh, 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 shh. So what does this factor to?
X plus 3, X plus 3.
All right, so you got one thing, x plus 3 that equals 0. So x is -3. And then what do you do with that?
Plug it in.
Plug it in. Did you do F or G?
G.
Yeah, because you're a smart group, so you know how to use G. And so you get what? -2. So this intersects at one place at -3, -2. That's one intersection. You get one answer. This is one of those that the line is tangent to the quadratic. All right, try this one. And I'll tell you what, just get it equal to 0 and stop, and we'll make sure everyone has the right answer, and then we'll go on from there. And I know it has fractions. They're pretty fractions. If you want to change it to a decimal, that's fine. It terminates. You can do that. So did you get this to equal 0? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Does that factor? Nope. So if it doesn't factor, what do you have to use?
Calculator.
Or it's a formula,
Oh, quadratic.
quadratic formula. Use quadratic formula. I'll wait. I'm just, hanging out. Like I said, I'm good till 10:30.
pretty sure it's 11. Wait, that's not.
No, 12.6.
Good as well.
What did I just say about doing stuff wrong?
Yeah, I know. But I thought you were supposed to put the negative sign. I thought you were supposed to get rid of it. Or,
No, because you're not gonna factor it, so you leave it like it is.
oh,
Can I just go ahead and say that there's,
No, you can just chill for a minute.
I mean, like, that's not. I was gonna say, like, instead of just working through the whole thing, let's see.
Oh, yeah. All right, so you end up with a negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a, which is 3.5 plus or minus, what's your discriminant?
Negative 11.75.
Negative 11.75. So what does that mean?
Imaginary.
Yeah, do these have a solution?
No.
No, they do not intersect. There's no real solution here because your discriminant is less than 0. There's no intersection. This is no solution. No intersection. That's what that means.
macaroni. Waiting on them.
All right. 2 quadratics. 2 quadratics. First of all, let's just get f of x in standard form. Make sure everybody can do that because, like I said, that was messed up a lot on the quiz yesterday. So let's get f of x in standard form, and then we'll go from there.
That just reminded me of something I did wrong with that.
Did it?
That thing.
What did your f of x simplify to?
2x
4x.
squared plus 8x plus 4.
Yes.
Got 4x squared. Crap.
It should be 2x squared plus 8x plus 4. And that equals
you
negative
only-
x squared minus 4x minus 5.
You only distribute that to one of those?
No, all of
You distribute it to all of them. But x plus 2 times x plus 2 is x squared plus 4x plus 4. Okay, finish this problem. when you finish. The people at your table finish. See if you got the same answers, and if you didn't, try to figure out why you didn't get the same answer. Spencer, I found a calculator, but I may still have it because it doesn't work. I don't know because I don't have batteries for it. If you stick around after class, I'll get you paper and you have your mom fill it out, and then you get a calculator tomorrow. But again, like I may have it, but it doesn't work. Might be I still have it.
There's already a negative sign there.
You said.
Why don't you do yourself a favor and take that 3 out so you've got smaller numbers to factor?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which is plus 12 minus 5. So that's negative 2. And then x is negative 3, so it's negative 3 is 2. And then
Also, but you can get it
negative
another
1
way,
squared is
and then your
1
numbers are way
minus
easier to
1
get.
plus
When you
4.
took this equation, you
1
put
plus
it in
4 is 3
this,
minus 5 is negative 2.
that,
Yeah.
where they can put that into that one. We put that one in that one, make sure numbers so
I
much.
was telling myself, at first it says negative 1, negative 1, because I forgot to subtract the 1 from the 4 and it screwed me up. But I didn't.
So let's see. You got 3x squared plus 12x plus 9, right? Equals 0. If you take this out, you get x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals 0. And then that factors to x plus 3, x plus 1, right? So x is a negative 3 and x is a negative 1. Yeah? Okay. So then, which one did you put it in?
The G of the.
G of x? Okay, so let me show you on your calculator. You can put this in and like save it. I don't know if it's not really saving. Can you see this? Yeah. So I've got negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 3 minus 5. So negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 3 minus 5. Enter, and I get this negative 2. So I have, I need to put what I just put in my calculator. So that's negative 3, negative 2. And then I don't really want to type all that in again. So you can hit second enter and it brings that problem up again. But see how the thing is flashing? That means you can still edit it. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to change that to a 1. I'm going to change that to a 1. It's the same problem. Enter. Hey, that one's also negative 2. So that's at negative 1, negative 2. Those are my two answers. All right. Is that easy? Yes? No?
No.
No?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy.
No.
Okay. So let's try this one. Get it to equal 0 and stop. Sorry, Ashton, you just had to hear me blow my nose.
Is she on?
No, but if she ever watches it, she's gonna hear me blow my nose. Are we done? All right, so you've got a negative 1/2 x squared plus x plus 3/2 equals x squared minus 4x. So let's see, what is that? 1/2 x squared plus 5x plus 3/2 equals 0.
I got negative
Yeah,
one
it's
and a half
minus x squared, not plus x squared.
Minus x squared where? Here? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Negative
minus
1 and a
3/2.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only worked this problem already once today, but that's okay. Does that factor? So what are you gonna have to use? Quadratic formula. Okay, go ahead. And I'm gonna give you a hint. You're going to have to round your x. Round it to 3, the nearest thousand. So that's 3 decimal places. Yeah.
No cotton on basketball. My foot.
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah. Got a boot on? Beast mode. Yay. Yeah, now Kobe has to play. Yeah. Dang it, I got Kobe on first base.
Where am I gonna have to round it? Where are we at?
What do you
Page
mean, Josh?
420.
When you get to the,
Yeah.
discriminate, you'll find out. And it's around. What?
If you got 0, you definitely got the wrong answer.
I got
Then you make it-
squared.
I don't know what I did.
That's why.
Is that right?
Wait, I didn't hear you.
Square root of 34.
Yeah. Your discriminant is 34. So that's where you get right there, right?
Yeah.
All right. So remember that there are 2 answers here, right? You have to put this in your calculator twice. You have to put in -5 plus the square root of 34 over -3 and -5 minus the square root of 34 over -3.
Figured out. I'm an idiot.
Pull me out, John.
So I get a -0.277. And then you put -5 minus the square root of 34 divided by -3, and you get 3.610.
Hold on, can you move the calculator over a bit?
And then what do you do with the, are we done?
No.
Nope. Those have to go back into one of those problems. What do you think, F or G?
G.
Definitely G. Put it in G, see what you get. Good gravy.
It's just an 18 pack.
Yes.
So I put my negative 0.277 and I get 1.185. So. That's from 277 squared minus 4 times negative 0.277. Okay.
You didn't put mine for it.
I didn't. You sure?
So I have to do it again. 3.610 squared minus 4 times 3.610. And that's from all right. One thing that I feel like I probably need to share with you, I know this ends in a 0, and probably every math teacher up to this point would tell you to drop that 0, but your direction said to go to the nearest thousandth, so you have to have 3 decimal places there, even if the last one's 0. You have to have everything on the AP Calculus exam goes to 3 decimal places, even if it's 2.100. If you've rounded to get to that, you have to have all 3 of them there. Now, if the answer is just 2.1, the answer is 2.1. But if you rounded and that gave you that 0, 0, you can't knock them off. They have to stay there. Okay. If it says round to 3 decimal places, then you need to have 3 decimal places. Have y'all done significant figures yet?
I did
Significant
not
digits?
get it.
Sig figs?
Miss Clayman started to
If we
go
did 'em,
over it
I
with
didn't.
us.
Yeah.
We went over it for like 3 days and she gave up.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen in my whole entire life. We were at a meeting, like a math meeting in Little Rock, and these 2 old man math teachers, I mean, like one of them had a cane. I mean, they were old. They got in a shouting match over sig figs. Like that's what they were arguing about. And I was like, someone better take that one dude's cane because he's going to wail on someone. He was so mad. And they were like yelling at each other. I just could not understand it. It's crazy to me. Yes.
On the Y, I did not get that.
On which one?
On the first one.
Negative
Negative 0.27.
277 squared minus 4. Let me put it in one more time.
I got negative. I got 0.1. I got 1.03.
I got the same thing again. Let me see what you have.
Did you put negative 277?
That's the problem. You didn't use parentheses.
Oh,
That's
because
good.
You have to use parentheses with negatives or you will get the wrong answer. You have to. I don't think we have time to do these 2. Yeah. So we'll stop. Not yet.
Tomorrow's fine.
A lot of us won't be doing
Well,
that. Some of us won't be doing that. What?
I'm going to tell you right now. Check Google Classroom. Even if you're not here, check Google Classroom tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay.
That's kind of scary, but okay.
Check it.
What?